Dad, are you disappointed that maybe some of your children aren't uh, that or haven't been at some point in the past uh, such traditional Catholics?
Yes, my three boys, to my knowledge, do not practice the ritual of Catholicism, but it is my nightly prayers that they all three become devout Catholics. And as I say, I am disappointed, but there are some things that you find difficult or impossible to change. But again, you feel that you do your best. It's possible that some of my own practices in an early age of their development was not as, shall we say, devout as it could be, and possibly that influenced them to abandon their Catholic faith. But, as I say, I pray nightly that they all will return eventually to the Catholic faith.
And if I can just add my own observations to this, I think
can't hear you, honey.
if I can just add some of my own observations to what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the times that we were growing up, the 60s, the 70s, it was a time of letting the traditional stuff go by, and so maybe we didn't go to mass all of the time, but I think so many of us, because of you, because of Chuchi's, will always be, if not practicing Catholics, cultural Catholics, and maybe also take like Nacho has the Buddha here and Egyptian gods and everything. That it's not that they're not spiritual or we are not spiritual beings. I just offer that as an observation.
Well, in the case of Johnny, for example, I can understand his opposition because the Catholic Church does not observe the practice of the alternate way of living. And as I say, being naturally in that way of life, it's very difficult for him to appreciate the stand of the Catholic Church. So, as I say, I understand his principal objection to the Church. But again, I don't see any immediate solution to his problem.
I think Johnny's a very spiritual person, actually.
Yes, I do too. But one thing is being spiritual, another is following the practice of the Catholic Church. you can be one or the other. But it's sometimes difficult, as in his case.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you along those lines. Do you have any other regrets?
Do I have any what?
Any other regrets about paths that your children have chosen, or are you? It seems to me that you and Chuchi's, my mother, spent so much energy, really, to almost neglecting your own needs, both of you, for so long because you were raising children. And so after all of that effort and all of that sacrifice, because both of you worked very hard, are you satisfied with the result of all of that effort?
No, I don't think you're ever satisfied. At least not in my case. Because you feel that possibly, and I know Chuchi's is not at fault in any sense of the word, but in my own case, I feel that possibly I did not present as good an example as I should have. Again, that is, I feel I'm only human and I make mistakes as anybody does. And I think possibly that I did not live up to the expectations of the children in some cases. But as again, you regret some of the positions you've taken in the past, but you try to overcome those in your actions in the present. So I think that's about all that can be expected of a parent.
Or that's all that can be expected of any human being, to do your best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you were doing your best with what you knew at the time, right? And yesterday we were talking about Ho'oponopono.
About who?
Ho'oponopono. It's the Hawaiian forgiveness ritual.
Oh, yes.
Right? And so I did some of that with Christina and some of that with Johnny, that, whatever happened in the past, I don't think that they were bad intentions. Sometimes they were bad outcomes, mm-hmm. and bad consequences and anger and hurt and all of that. But that we need to move forward, and so I think it's important to forgive each other and express the love that has come out of this life that we have together. Mm-hmm. That for some reason the universe put us together, this little group of people, and so it's important to just say, forgive me, I forgive
yes.
you, and I love you. And that's what I say to you, and you say to me, buddy.
I see no fault whatsoever in that position. No, I agree with it 100%. Mm-hmm.